Hey everybody, welcome to Why It Matters, episode 4. My name is Matt Gromlett, candidate for Congress in Louisiana's 4th District, and I'm here with my friend Lynn Robinson.
Hey everybody.
And we are here to talk about the issues, topics that have come up in the news, and why all this matters for us in Louisiana, and specifically in District 4. So, Lynn, how's everything with you? What are we going to talk about today?
Well, today we'll be talking about ICE, the
Okay.
detention centers, prison reform in Louisiana, and of course we'll end with a spotlight, something letting you know uh, that we do have good things going on in Shreveport and in District 4 as well. ICE has been in the headlines for the last year. So everybody understands a lot of the detriment that ICE has caused
Absolutely.
to the United States. One thing let me preface this part let me preface this entire conversation by saying that I don't believe that our borders should be open. I believe our borders should be secure. But I don't believe in the tactics that ICE uses against American citizens because they don't know when they have an American citizen or when they have an undocumented immigrant. I don't remember exactly what they use to identify specific people, but mistaken identity happens all the time. And for you to just accost someone and violently take them into custody with you're violating any type of due process that they should probably have
Yes.
if they're citizens. Even if they're not citizens, they still have constitutional rights.
Mm-hmm.
So ICE and their violations have been just on 10.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what's your opinion about our current situations with ICE?
I agree with, I think, everything that you said, that I'm not for completely open borders. That doesn't make sense as a country.
Mhm.
No country has completely open borders. We need to be able to know who's coming in, who's going out of our country, why they're here, be able to do background checks, like all of those things are true. And
Mhm.
ICE has become a completely separate entity at this point. And not only it's not there now to protect the border, it's there to terrorize undocumented people and American citizens. So ICE itself, I believe, is completely compromised. The what it is as an entity, the people that have signed up for ICE, it truly, I think, does need to be abolished. Not that border security needs to be abolished, but that we have to start over with something that is way more empathetic, effective, and purposeful in its implementation, and not this like just picking anybody off the street because they look different. I mean, how is that different from Germany?
And also, they are so close to going back to times. Do you remember hearing about times when um freed slaves had to show papers?
Papers. Hmm.
They are literally they're right there. If you They want you basically to say, "Hey, I belong here," and show them proof like on the spot.
So you asked, like, how do you prove citizenship? The only way in America to prove citizenship is either your birth certificate or your passport. That's it.
Hmm.
Now, in I think it's 5 states, there is a special real ID that also shows citizenship, and they're the like Canadian border states. Uh, but even your real ID in the other 45 states does not show citizenship. So you can't use an ID. So it means now you are expecting everybody to carry around either their birth certificate or their passport
It's ridiculous.
when I don't know what the percentage of Americans that has a passport is, but it's not everybody. I know that for
No,
sure.
because I don't have one. No, it's not.
There's so many people that don't have one. And then
Right.
how many people have their birth certificate? Not everybody has their birth certificate.
Right. And people don't understand that there are various reasons that a person may not have their birth certificate.
Hmm.
So, and it shouldn't be the fault of a person that does not have the birth certificate, when it's the parents' responsibility to originally give them birth certificates. And if you know anything about the United States of America, we all had different types of parents. And that may not have been a priority. The parent could have moved around and lost birth certificates. A lot of things happen to where people can't get birth certificates, or people have lost birth certificates.
Another, or a few other aspects of it, it's like we're in Louisiana. We've had terrible hurricanes ravage our state.
Mhm.
People lost everything, including all their documentation. So now
Right.
you have people who lost their houses, who lost family members, who lost their birth certificate. Now can't prove citizenship.
There's a lot of issues though, as
Yes.
far as ICE is concerned, and just the way that they handle people in general.
Mm.
And the worst thing, well, besides death, one of the things that has come out of it that is horrible is the distrust. People already had a problem trusting police. I know a lot of my people did. A lot of Black people had problems with trusting the police. We didn't want to defund the police. I think that was bad messaging
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah.
Just personally, I think that was bad messaging.
Yes.
Um, but we knew that there were certain problems that needed a complete overhaul as far as
Mhm.
policing was concerned. And now that ICE has come in, worse, they nobody trusts them. How could you trust somebody? They're like mask bandits.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing a mask? If you have on a mask and you approach me, I'm immediately on guard.
Hmm.
Immediately. Because I feel like if you're coming to me with a mask on,
Yep.
you're coming to me to do me harm.
Hmm.
Because why can't you show yourself? You
Yeah.
don't want to be identified. And
Yep.
they say it's so that people's families won't be doxxed. What are you doing so horrible that would make someone want to dox you then?
Yep.
If you're doing your job adequately,
Hmm.
and if you're doing what you're supposed to do and not violating people's constitutional rights, and not just violating rights in general and being a horrible human being, then why would people want to dox you?
Yep.
That's not the normal American way. That, oh, we're gonna dox you because you did your job.
Hmm.
But those people that are not doing their job properly because they were just thrown in there, ICE was just the people that they chose whoever applied.
Yep.
And some of them probably told their buddies, "Hey, come on, get this easy sign on bonus, and it's an
Student
easy
loan
job, and you
forgiveness.
get to beat the hell out of people."
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So,
just don't.
so many things. So many like we have law enforcement across this country. No other branch or division of law enforcement wears masks. Zero. And they're fine.
Mhm.
I mean, it is a scary job. You are putting yourself in harm's way if you're a police officer. They know what responsibility they're taking on. They're not masked.
And
And
I
there's no
respect
damage.
police officers.
I do
I
too.
love police officers.
Yes, yes.
So, and Republicans try and give specifically Democrats a
Uh-huh.
bad name as far as saying, oh, okay, they're anti-law enforcement. We are not anti-law enforcement. I
No,
recognize that we need policing in our society.
absolutely.
If something goes wrong, guess who I'm calling? I'm calling the police. I have no issue with it at all.
Yep.
But and just like they say, oh, we're not for America. I freaking love the American flag. Let me just say this loudly. I love the American flag. I love America. That doesn't make me any less anti-corruption. It doesn't make me any less anti-horrible people.
Hmm.
It definitely doesn't make me less anti-Trump because I'm still anti-Trump. So yeah, stop saying that Democrats are anti-American. I'm just gonna say it on here. I am pro-America. I'm pro-flag. I love this country. Stop saying that we don't love this
Yep.
country. That's even more divisive when you say, "Oh, Democrats don't love the country." We love the country. I'm on a tangent. Let me stop. So,
You keep
all
going.
right. So, moving on.
Well, yeah. So wrapping up, like, yeah, we're not anti-America, we're not anti-flag, we're not anti-law enforcement, but we are anti-ICE currently because of how they are treating undocumented immigrants, people here legally, and U.S. citizens. And we have to have a way to have an empathetic, caring, systematic process for people to become citizens. Right now, we do not have that. And what's even worse is that there's been this like silent agreement between American government and undocumented peoples here in the United States for like 30 years, where it's like, we know you're here, but we need you. So, like, don't ask, don't tell, basically. And then all of a sudden now it's an issue. And
Yeah,
that
but
is not okay.
right. Well, that don't ask, don't tell. Once came in full force, going to places like farms and going to places like Home Depot, where undocumented immigrants may have been picked up for work for construction and stuff like that, terrorizing different areas
Yeah.
that undocumented immigrants were known to frequent. Uh, that became a major problem. It's a strain on the workforce,
Hmm.
because now these farmers don't have um people to work these farms now, and you saw how that worked out for the farmers. And
Hmm.
also construction took a big hit because of ICE,
Yeah.
because now they don't have workers for the projects that they're building or attempting to build. The like ICE caused a lot of problems in the United States. Um, the worst the worst part of ICE was that they killed Americans. To me, that was the worst part of ICE. Um, Not just Americans, they keep people that were in their care in ICE detention centers, which we'll get to, have died.
Yeah.
Um, it seems like there's no who's regulating ICE? Where's the control there? Who actually says, hey, this can't happen, this can't happen, this can't happen? Where's that for ICE? The police have that. There's checks on the police.
Yeah.
How are there no checks on ICE?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and at the beginning, there were Congress people who tried to go to these facilities and they were not allowed in. The Congress people should be allowed to go to these facilities. Part of their job is to regulate. I mean, it's the Department of Homeland Security that oversees ICE, and a check on the executive branch is the legislative branch. And you're right. I mean, the stories of the people in these facilities, what they have to go through is just heartbreaking. And the only reason why they're in there is because at one point they did not come to the country legally, or there's some people who came legally and then Trump revoked their temporary protective status. There were a lot of Venezuelans in Florida, like 700,000 of them, where they came here legally. Everybody's like, oh, we want you to come here legally. We want you to go through the right process. They did, and then Trump removed all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
there are even some people who I was just at a town hall in Natchitoches, and this lady is going into these detention facilities, and they're allowed to have like a picnic lunch with some of these people
Mm-hmm.
every once in a while. And she was saying how there's one person there who is a green card holder, is here legally, and doesn't know why he can't get out. And so, like, it's not just people who are undocumented. There are people who are here with through the right process with all the legal paperwork who were picked up. And then, like, what's the process for looking at all of those cases and getting those people out of the facilities who don't belong there?
It's heartbreaking. The kids part is heartbreaking, because they did nothing to put themselves in that predicament. So
Well, even I was at dinner last night and was talking to somebody whose brother came here when he was 2, has lived here for 30 something years, just got picked up by ICE and deported. Like,
Wow.
he didn't have the choice to come here when he was 2. And we don't make it easy at all. We make it very, very complicated to become a US citizen. So I don't know, it's just like the way that we treat people right now in the process is terrible, and we have to think about treating people with kindness and empathy and creating processes that allow people to become citizens, especially people who were brought here as children or minors.
Yes. Uh, which brings us to DACA.
Hmm.
Now, as far as DACA is concerned, DACA was, I believe, implemented. It started during the Obama administration,
Hmm.
2012, I think. Uh, and the purpose of it was not a it wasn't actually a pathway to citizenship, but what it did was it allowed for the children that have been brought here, well, the undocumented immigrants that have been brought here as children.
Yep.
It gave them a way to work in the United States
Hmm.
with without any problems, basically. It
Hmm.
gave them work permits. And now, as far as DACA is concerned, it's supposed to be renewable. It was never meant to be something that was permanent.
Right.
What DACA started as, well, the reason that DACA started was because there was so many problems with getting this dream. Is it an
Hmm.
act?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Dream Act actually passed through the Senate. And so what Obama's administration did was they came up with DACA. Now, as far as DACA is concerned, when Biden was in office, it's called the DACA Final Rule, where he codified DACA into law so that it could not be overturned. Now, the reason that that's important is because there are people today who are DACA recipients who are are still having a problem, and they are not honoring their DACA. Uh, and what that was supposed to do, the DACA final rule, is still not a pathway to citizenship,
Hmm.
but what it did do is allow them to continue to be renewed every 2 years. And that's what that's one of the things that DACA recipients have to do is renew every 2 years. And this administration, I don't know if they're stopping them from renewing, but I know for a fact that they're not allowing any new applicants.
Hmm.
So you can no longer, if you are an undocumented immigrant, you cannot apply for DACA any longer if you're not already actively involved in DACA. So that part is unfortunate. One other thing, as far as ICE is concerned, and you could put this in here somewhere, I don't know where it would belong, but a lot of pro-ICE people say that, well, don't you want to get fentanyl out of the country? Don't you want, it's like you all want drugs smuggled into the country. That's what these immigrants are doing. And I want to make sure I mention this part because it's been forgotten a lot. Immigrants are not the main smugglers of drugs into this
Right.
country, especially fentanyl.
Hmm.
Over 80% of the fentanyl that comes into the country is brought in by US citizens.
Yep.
Do with that as you will, but they are United States citizens. I have no problem with you detaining these people that are smuggling drugs into the United States,
Hmm.
but don't penalize everyone that's trying to come here for a better life
Yeah.
under the under the guise of them smuggling
Yeah.
drugs,
Yes.
because that's not what's happening.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure I said that part.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just so disingenuous. It's so anti-humanitarian. It's just disgusting. Like if you they're using drugs and crime as the rationale for detaining, deposing immigrants. But really, it's an anti-immigrant administration. Like the main
It
goal
is,
is that they don't want people who are non-white in this country. They don't want
and
you to
that's true.
vote. They don't want you to live. They don't want you to be able to support a family. Like that is the truth. And they're using everything that they can, every tactic and rationale that they can to move to this like white Eurocentric Christian nationalism America.
Hmm.
And we
By
can't
any
we
means
can't
necessary.
we can't let them do it.
Yes, I agree.